What's up, fight fans? And we are back at it with another edition here at Round One Sports TV. Let me get set up. We got a lot to talk about. How's everybody doing out there? Thank you for tuning in to Round One Sports Talk. I am your host, Edwin. As you tune in to the live stream, let me know that you hear me loud and clear. Let's make sure we have everything situated. All right. Let me know where you're watching from, where you're tuning in. Rep your city. Let me know. I want to see it. We have an amazing show for you today. We're going to be getting into all the fights on the Saul Canelo Alvarez Edgar Berlanga fight. This is still a big fight in a lot of ways. It also another Saul Canelo Alvarez fight out of the way, and it could lead us into what's going to happen next, or Edgar Berlanga can pull one of the biggest upsets in all of boxing. We're going to talk about all that. What's up, Mark? How you doing? Loud and clear. Thank you. Oh, Australia? Yo, my man. How y'all doing down there? Y'all might be getting a big fight coming your way. You know, Liam Paro is rumored to fight Devin Haney. Forever, how true that is. Don't hold me to that. Even though they've been saying that all over the internet, I still find that hard to believe that he would fight Liam Paro. Liam Paro is no slouch. And that's not the kind of fighter you take on a rebound fight. You know, you fight Liam Paro as a world champion. Somebody you were winning to get two, not a rebound fight from getting your ass whooped, and you choose Liam Paro. I find it hard to believe. From what I saw in Puerto Rico from Liam Paro against Sobria Matias, I was there in attendance. I was actually in the front row. Well, not the front rows, you know, the like 5 rows back, but I was in the front, right? And I watched that fight, and Liam Paro did a lot of good things in there. I saw his durability, I saw his skills, and I saw his toughness on full display. I saw it. So if Devin Haney thinks like that was the right one to pick, I'm not sure about that. We could talk about that on a later date. I want to get into this Saul Canelo Alvarez and Berlanga fight. But before we get right into that, we're going to touch up on the card and who's going to be there as well to entertain the night. We have a lot of amazing fighters on this card. It's a big card. What's up, Bam Bam? How you doing, fam? In the building. So, right now, right, the co-main event, right, for the Saul Canelo Alvarez, right, is going to be Danny Garcia, you know, with the Laura fight, right? Okay. But there's a lot of good, interesting fights on this card. Caleb Plant, I think that's going to be a really good fight. And I think it's going to be a good fight for Caleb Plant too, as well, because Trevor is undefeated, right? And I think that he's going to bring a lot to this fight. Look, Caleb Plant did a good against Saul Canelo Alvarez. He scored a knockout after that. You know, what was questioned in the Caleb Plant and Saul Canelo Alvarez fight was his gas tank. You know, where that his training didn't hold up in that fight. And then Saul Canelo Alvarez slowly picked him apart and then put him away. So Caleb Plant right now is trying to put himself back into the Saul Canelo Alvarez sweepstakes, right? Where that if he beats Trevor in an impressive way, and then Saul Canelo Alvarez takes care of business against Edgar Berlanga, perhaps they can meet up, down the line, because Caleb's been trying to put together several wins to actually fight Saul Canelo Alvarez, right? Also on that fight card as well, right? We got the return of Rolly. Listen, people, this is it for Rolly, I think. If Rolly loses this fight right here, as far as his star status for Rolly, I'm not sure. Rolly needs to, I think his back is against the wall. And if he ever thought about getting a shot back at that title, which in fact now it's rumored to hear that Isa Pitbull Cruz is on it back with Rolly. I mean, with Jose Valenzuela, right? So Rayo. I was thinking of Rayo, not Rolly. So Isa Pitbull Cruz is gonna shoot it back with Rayo, right? And then I even went further and I was looking at an interview today with Rayo and Ryan Garcia having a nice little discussion back and forth. It was all smiles with respect. They were asking to challenge one another. Well, at least Ryan Garcia was actually to challenge Rayo. And he was telling him that he wanted to fight him, which was weird, at a catch weight, which means that Rayo's belt wouldn't be on the line. So Rayo hinted to the highest he would go was 145, like that. And Ryan was like, yo, I'll make 145. And when I get back, we should make a fight together. And Rayo's letting him know that he'll welcome that fight. Ryan Garcia made a prediction when he would knock out Rayo. And Rayo had to respond with a few rounds sooner. Like I think Ryan said something like the 8th, 9th round, he would knock out Rayo. And then Rayo said, well, I was thinking more like 6. I'm going to knock you out in the 6th round. So it was a good little exchange between the two. And that would be a good fight for Ryan Garcia. Not sure what he's going to look like on the year comeback. He's going to, because he's on a year suspension, how dedicated is he to the sport? And that's what would be a tough fight to come back to. Rayo ain't no walk in the park. And Ryan Garcia, that left check hook is a monster, though. It can bail him out of almost any situation. Yeah, it could. That left check hook is legendary. So, we want to see with that. So, Caleb Plant definitely has his hands full, right, on that one. And then we have another good fighter, right? We have Stephen Kubo Fulton versus Carlos Castro. Now, Stephen Kubo Fulton, no one's heard anything from the man since he lost his world titles out in Japan to the one and only Naoya Inoue. The monster defeated him. Hold on. Okay, it looked a little. Oh, okay, I know what it is. Yeah, that's bothering me. The monster defeated him in Japan, right? And since then, Stephen Kubo Fulton has not stepped a foot into the ring. Not that he hasn't tried. He had a couple fights lined up and scheduled, but things didn't seem to go through for him. So Stephen Kubo Fulton ended up on the Saul Canelo undercard. And it looks like he's going to make his ring return. I'm eager to see how he responds and what he looks like after losing his belts to Naoya Inoue, and where is he going to go? Is he going to stay at 126? Will he try to venture back down 122? Perhaps challenge the Japanese superstar after getting a few fights in? And then perhaps if he's still there, try to go get his belts back. I'm not sure what his plans are. Maybe after the fight, he'll talk more about it. He seems to have been a little bit all over the place, Stephen Kubo Fulton. So, I believe he has the potential and the skills to become a world champion again. He lacks a little bit of punching power, but what he lacks in punching power, he does make up for it in other traits like cat-like reflexes, and good evading ability. He has a strong jab, a powerful one, that keeps opponents out at bay, and then he knows how to work off his jab. So Stephen Kubo Fulton didn't become a two-time undisputed world champion at 122 pounds, and he was undefeated until he came up against Naoya Inoue for nothing. It means that 99% of everybody else lost to him. It's just this one guy that beat him. That's it. So he definitely has the skills to bring back America some of those belts, bring them back home. You know what I mean? We need some belts right now. Seeing that the fact that Terrence Crawford, and almost every other day, I hear him talking, or words talking, or reporters talking words like crazy words like retirement. This crazy talk. What do you mean? I can't let him go yet. I can't let go Terrence Crawford yet, man. He's all we got. That's all we got, Jack. Terrence Crawford is our heaviest champion for the U.S. team. At 154 pounds, name me another champion that America has. Go. 160, America don't got no champion. 168, Saul got all the belts, and we ain't got no American champion. 175, nope. Cruiser, nope. Heavy, nope. Our heaviest champion we have to date is Terrence Crawford. 154. That's the heaviest champion America has, right? Losing him, what are we going to have? Tank Davis, 135? We got an American 140. I'm starting to get a little faint here. Shit, you start talking about Terrence Crawford leaving. I don't do that, Mr. Terrence Crawford. Stick around we need you. We need you, baby. We need you, because these kids ain't picking up the torch. All they doing is getting clicks, views, and likes, and they securing the bag, but they ain't getting no hardware, the belts. And how you gonna beat Michael Jordan if you ain't got 6 rings? But you gonna say your contract was bigger? All right. Made more money. Where your rings at? Where your belts? I can't. Yo, I start getting a little faint, man. What the hell? Terrence leaving? No, whoa. Wait a minute. Wait. Let's talk about this, Terrence. Chill, relax. Yo, who's going to pick up the torch? Jaron Boots Ennis? Who's going to pick up the torch? Sebastian Fedora? Who's going to, for America? Who do we got? The Charlo twins about to go to jail from what I'm hearing. I don't think he'll ever box again, at least one of them. And he was the better of the 2 brothers. So that's unfortunate, man. That's a sad story right there, man. We see it happen in all sports. Sometimes these athletes, they get hooked up with the wrong crowd, or they start taking something a little too much, becomes habit, then it becomes a problem. Now you have a problem. And that's just part of life. Shit happens, man. It really does. Shit really does happen. And at 154, Terrence Crawford is all we have. That's it. We need some of our younger guys to come up into the other divisions, maybe 160. I don't know who we got at 175 that can try to take the throne, or, Demetrius Bivol and Arthur is scheduled to have their showdown. And then after that, we have David the Monster Benavidez in the wing. I'm not sure if he's representing the United States of America. Last time I checked, he had his other flag up. But I think they do have him listed as an American fighter. Yeah, he's just not a champion. We have fighters at other weight divisions. They're just not world champions. So, as it comes to that and we're competing, I want some to get some of these belts back home. I see that we also don't own any belts at 122. Soon, the monster Naoya Inoue will start to make his rise to 126. And the announcement that Bob Arum officially did not say so, but he said in 2025 is going to be his breakout coming to America year. And if Bob Arum is going to capitalize for Naoya Inoue fighting in Vegas, because he gave us the place. If you pay attention to what Bob Arum said, he said, I'm going to bring him to America in Vegas. And if you ask me, Bob Arum is a New York guy. He likes Madison Square Garden. Whenever Bob Arum likes to put up a good fight or a big fight, he likes to throw them in Madison Square Garden. So that they got Bob Arum's credit card there in Madison Square Garden on spin dial. That's how many fights he has there. Okay. So when he's saying Las Vegas, when he said Vegas, I was like, okay. You're not going to book Vegas for MJ or Goodman, Sam Goodman. No, you're not going to book. You could book New York for that. And you don't even have to put Madison Square Garden. You can go to the Barclays Center for that one. For Sam Goodman, Barclays Center. MJ, Barclays Center. Yeah. But you're talking about Vegas. He's going up to 126. And he's probably going to fight Espinoza, which, that's a guess. That's a guess because of the rules of the sport. We've talked about this. Espinoza has the WBO. Naoya Inoue has the WBO at 122. The rule structure state he can challenge the above champion at the above weight division. So that's in the rules. And guess what? He automatically becomes his mandatory. Like from the minute that's it. He's your next fight. So, and not unless any of the other champions were to like volunteer. Let's say Ray Vargas says, you know what, Naoya Inoue, I'll fight you for the WBC. I'm pretty sure he would fight him. I'm pretty sure he's going to fight him for the WBC. As long as your belt is a real world title, Naoya Inoue is ready to rock and roll. Definitely. He's going to be on his A game. So that is something that, between now and December, I believe that Bob Arum and Top Rank will be putting out an official statement on his next opponent and exactly who it's going to be. A lot of people are assuming that it's going to be Sam Goodman because, it was supposed to be Sam Goodman now. He backs out, TJ's in. So Sam Goodman, but now remember, he had reported that he broke his hands. On the first day, he said he broke one hand. Like 2-3 days later, or whatever it was, he had said he broke one and fractured the other. So he damaged both hands. So usually, typically on a broken hand, 3 months. Typically, you're 3 months. You got 3 months right there to heal that hand. Okay. So, could he be ready? Yes. Is he going to be ready? I don't think so. I actually think that the person that he's going to fight in December is going to be probably MJ. He's going to do like an MJ, then a jump up. MJ is going to be his last fight, I think, at 122. I think that's how he's going to close the year. Because Naoya Inoue is going to close the year strong. Because he's not the type of fighter that'll fight like an average guy like that. If, the thing is that when I say that, I don't want to give you the impression that these guys are going to also volunteer to fight him. Because you got to remember, there's a thing that we call ducking. And a lot of men like to duck, right? And just because Naoya Inoue would say, yeah, I'll fight you next, doesn't mean that he says, yes, I will also fight you. Look what's going on with Jerron Boots Ennis and Brian Norman Jr. A lot of people call a lot of duck talk going on in that conversation. Both sides. No, you're ducking. No, you're ducking. No, you're ducking. Right? Okay. When that one's, if you step back, right? I figured that one out a long time ago. What happened was Jerron Boots Ennis did send contracts to everybody, all the champions. Brian Norman Jr. responded because he was a new champion. He hadn't had any time to know what it's like to be a champion, live a champion's life, and try to maintain the belt for as long as you have it. He didn't know about any of that. He just thought, nah, they ain't gonna punk me or say I'm ducking. And he responded quickly. But while leading into conversation, I believe that Brian Norman's dad realized, yo, let's not be so eager to fight Jerron Boots Ennis. I don't really want that fight. And he chose to fight on an undercard, is what he chose to do for way less money. Why? One, you you got an opportunity to build yourself up and realize that Brian Norman Jr. is fairly new in the sport of boxing as well. They might have came up relatively, right around the same time, but Brian Norman Jr. it still needs a lot to go. And in order to defend that title, the opponent he has now, I would have took something like that. But the fact that he answered Jerron Boots Ennis' team and they went back and forth on social media, that's what makes it look worse. Because now if he pulls out, he's going to definitely look like a duck. But rather than the people, his handlers and other people are saying, what are you doing? Your son just got the belt and you want him to fight Jerron Boots Ennis? So you don't want your son to be champion. You don't want to be called champions. There's the champ's dad. You don't want none of that. You could have kept it had you not responded to Jerron Boots Ennis and just shut your mouth and kept going. Then they thought about it. Then they were like, oh shit. Then they made it seem about money. The money went from 700,000, I believe it was one of first offered, to 1 to 1.3 to 1.5 to 7. Now I even hear that it's up to 2. When Brian Norman Jr. only made $100,000 his last fight, which does not matter. He wasn't champion then. He's champion now. So his value goes up. So your value goes up from 100,000 to 2 million, and you haven't sold one ticket. You're just going on the value of what you believe that belt is worth, or how much is that belt worth to Jerron Boots Ennis. The way I was able to find that answer to that question was what the next move Jerron Boots Ennis did. Jerron Boots Ennis told Ed Hearn, take money from my purse and give it to him so that we can make the fight happen. The minute a fighter says, I'll take less money, take some of my money and give it to the other dude, that's legacy right there. That's a guy that's trying to go for the belts. When he didn't take that offer, that Jerron Boots Ennis was digging into his own pocket and saying, all right, I'll give you some of my money to fight you. Who does that? Who takes a pay cut? Champions, winners, legends. Did Jordan take a pay cut? You're damn right. Did Tom Brady take a pay cut? You're damn right. Was MJ the highest player paid on the Bulls? Nope. Was Brady the highest player on the Patriots? Nope. Those are people that'll take pay cuts to win. Jerron Boots Ennis tried to do the same thing. That's why I knew Brian Norman Jr. no longer wanted that fight. That's how I knew. I said to myself, nah, Jerron, you don't do that. No fighter takes money from their own purse or what they're supposed to be paid and say, you know what? Give it to him. Lionheart says, Mark, he talked too much lies. What's up, baby? How you doing? My man always showing up, showing out, showing the love for the channel. Come on, people. Let's click that like button. What's up, chat family? Yo, guys, listen. Is that people sometimes say things and then they realize or they have to be told their situation or what they could have. They don't know what it's like to live that kind of life. You know, Saul Canelo Alvarez, a lot of people call him a duck, but he strategically held on to those belts for as long as he could, couldn't he? And guess what's going to happen? Do you honestly think in the Hall of Fame it's going to say Saul Canelo Alvarez was world champion from this time to this time, and he was the longest reigning world champion, right? And you think he's going to have something in there that says, yeah, but he didn't fight the best competition, or we don't think that he fought this guy? You think it's going to say any of that shit? No. It's just going to say, from year to year, world champion, all 4 belts. That's it. He's going to have his victims, who he beat, the names. It's not going to go into explaining. Well, we, the fan, believe he never fought David the Monster Benavidez, so he was ducking this guy. It ain't going to say any of that shit. Strategically holding on to your belts for a longer reign, that's what they're going to write about you. In the history books, who writes the history? The winner. How could you write the history if you're dead? I could say whatever I want. And you remember those wars with like the English and stuff, and what's his name? Little Napoleon. He said, I came in riding on a white horse. My battalion was right here. We fought to the death. We confronted the enemy on the front line. It was valiant. I pulled out my sword. I killed 30 people. I was doing my thing. Reality is much different. They were all sleeping. They snuck in and slit all their throats while they were sleeping. There was no battlefield. There was no fight. But who writes history? The winner. And Napoleon's looking down at the guy that he got hired to write it and saying, do you got a problem writing what I just told you? Shh. Oh, no? Well, then keep writing. Right? Right? Who writes history for these belts? The people that keep them. From above date and time, you acquired a belt. From this date and time, you lost it. Or however if you retired undefeated, whatever. That's all them plaques say. So, you can judge him right now and everything, but he's going to go down in the halls with all the men and women that did it the best. And you're not going to be able to take that away from Saul Canelo Alvarez. Right now, he's coming into what controversy fight many of us believe against Edgar Berlanga. First of all, many of us believe he didn't deserve the fight and he shouldn't have been here. Others believe he's being hanged out to dry by Ed Hearn and he's going to cash in on Berlanga on the one fight he could cash in. Seeing that Top Rank let go of Edgar Berlanga, remember, nobody even wanted him. He was walking around with Floyd Mayweather and he didn't even sign him because they could see that Edgar Berlanga's work ethic was low. They felt he lost his way in the sport of boxing. Your contract didn't even expire. Your Top Rank just let you out of their contract. They were like, here, you want your contract? Here, we don't want you. They didn't see no capital in their product, Edgar Berlanga. And lo and behold, here comes Ed Hearns whistling Dixie down the street. Oh shit, Edgar Berlanga on Bum Street. How you doing, baby? Oh man, come on, dust yourself off, kid. Here, drink some of this. Yeah, I got you. First fight, Saul Canelo Alvarez. He's cashing in on him. He threw him in with the Lions, bro. There was no like tune-up fight. There was nothing. Yo, psh, right there. If Edgar Berlanga only knew when Ed Hearns was dropping down his money on a bet on the fight, look at the top of the receipt and see whose name's on that receipt. It's probably Saul Canelo Alvarez. Yo, I'll tell you right now, right? This is a dirty sport, and some people are in it for the money, some people are in it for the legacy, some people are in it because they want to see how far they can go. They're we're not all in it for the same reasons. And these promoters don't go in the ring and exchange punches. They don't know how those punches feel. They're not in there taking the punches, right? So it's quite easy to put a guy in there and sell him out for money and cash in and having nothing to do with it and just move on to the next fight, because this is what you do for a profession. It's nothing for them to do this. But the person that's going to go in there and take the damage is Edgar Berlanga. The person that's going to go in there and try to get the win, it's Edgar Berlanga. Edgar Berlanga has an opportunity here that most men have not gotten. There are a lot of men that are qualified and should have been fighting Saul Canelo Alvarez, David the Monster Benavidez, right? And have not gotten this fight. So technically, you hit the Saul Canelo Alvarez sweepstakes. They paid you whatever you're going to make. It's a pay-per-view fight. People are going to still tune in. I think it's too expensive for me. I don't like the price, but hey, it is what it is, right? Okay. I think they're cocky with it. With that price, $90. Like, I was like, yo, y'all tripping. But look, Edgar Berlanga, man, I don't know exactly how he's going to fight Saul Canelo Alvarez, just like I didn't really see how TJ Doheny was going to fare against Naoya Inoue. There was a part of me that was thinking Naoya was just going to come out and just wipe this guy down, right? But as soon as the fight went on, I started noticing the things that he did work on. Naoya Inoue was not dropping that right hand. He had it up here like this all night. And when he would be a far distance, then it would be a little low, but any closing, it was right here. So he was definitely working on that, right? So look, Edgar Berlanga has to stay focused, in the fight at all times. When you're fighting Saul Canelo Alvarez, I've seen him get a little desperate in a fight. I've seen him go forward in a fight when he felt like he was losing in the fight. I saw what he can do. And there were situations where I thought that he might have been losing the fight, and he came back in the fight, won the fight, finished the guy, etc. And one of them he was losing, and he did in fact lose against Demetrius Bivol. I felt like he was trying to like push it a little, and then like at the end of the fight, I just felt like he gave up a little on himself. He didn't like the way he was moving. He didn't like the way he was feeling. He didn't like anything. Putting your body and packing on those extra pounds to try to fight like that is not an easy thing to do, because you're not used to training, fighting in that weight, where your body's conditioned to move and your muscles as one. But if you're not in shape and you're not in that weight division, you're going to feel a little off. Your mind's going to be faster and your body's going to be slower. You're not in sync at all. So it's going to be tough to fight like that. Jamel Charlo, he could not get off any of his offense. He couldn't get off anything. Nothing. Because he had jumped up 2 weight divisions and it was too much. He felt like he was in quicksand. Every time he went to open up, Saul shut him down. Pow, 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 and closed him right up. And he had him thinking. He completely forgot the game plan that they prepared to fight against Saul Canelo Alvarez, he forgot it. He was trying to survive, not get knocked out. At some point in the fight, he realized, I'm not going to win this fight, but I'm also not going to allow myself to get knocked out. A lot of people had criticized him for taking that knee, that standing knee, right? Standing knee, right? He took a standing 8 count. And I think that was the smartest thing he ever did. When I saw him do that, I was like, your boxing mind is there. You just can't get your body to react. That's when he was alert. There's not a lot of men that would use that rule or even think about that rule in the fight. They're not smart enough. He got hit big by a Saul Canelo Alvarez shot, Jamel Charlo. Yo, man, he went back on the rope. He looked at him. He put his hand out and he took the knee himself voluntarily. He got the time, cleared out his mind, stood up, and that helped him out so much, in fact, that it got him out of the round back to his corner. And didn't he go the 12 rounds with him? A lesser fighter would have took that shot like that and would have tried to get it back in exchange with Saul. He would have knocked him out. The fact that he didn't try to get it back and open up when his head was still buzzing, he was smart enough to know, let me take a knee in a situation, mind you, he's never been in. And I was like, so you knew his boxing mind was working. He was aware of shit. He was aware. He got hurt. He got big. What can I do in this situation? I'll take the knee. Bam. He utilized it. It wasn't his body. I mean, it wasn't his mind. It was his body that was not responding because of that massive weight jump, 2 weight divisions. Yeah. So, Edgar Berlanga, I saw some of the training videos that he released, right? And he was talking about, like, he's gonna box Saul Canelo Alvarez, and that he's got a smarter ring IQ than all the guys Saul Canelo Alvarez fought against. And I doubt that. Right? But the training videos that he's showing and he's releasing show otherwise, right? What they're showing is Berlanga training for pressure, power, and he's going to try to overwhelm Saul Canelo Alvarez by increasing his volume of punches per round. Saul Canelo Alvarez called it. He saw exactly what he was doing. He said, that's how you're training? So this is what you're doing. This is what you're trying to give results. And you think that's going to beat me? It's crazy. So, listen, but talk is cheap in boxing. Devin Haney said, yo, Ryan Garcia, all you are is a left check hook, right? You think you're going to beat me with the left check hook? First round, first sequence, first left check hook. Caught him. What the hell were you working on? So you could, just because you know what the person is going to do, doesn't mean that you can stop it. You see what I'm saying? He might know what he's going to do, but can he stop it? So if Saul Canelo Alvarez can say, Edgar, you're doing this, it's like saying all you are is a left check hook. And what if Edgar Berlanga comes out first and it, hey, yo, catches him? But it would be more like on the lines where it would be a barrage of punches, forward aggression, and strong punches, which I believe that's exactly how he's training, which means exactly what I said. What I said was I believe he would have to fight him, not box him. If he tries to go in there and box Saul Canelo Alvarez, he's getting knocked out. But if he went in there and he tried to fight Saul Canelo Alvarez, where that his patterns were spontaneous, erratic, you don't do the same thing. You don't really gotta tell. It's just pa 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 pa, forward, forward, hold, frame, push, pa 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 pa. He swings, you swing. You're fighting him. And that's where the difference would between boxing. Boxing is more calculated, making more reads, um, trying to counter or land your punch, set up your shots, work off your jab. Um, Either what it depends what your game plan's built or designed around what kind of fighter, whatever your coach wants you to do. Are you going to fight on the outside? Are you going to fight in the inside? Can you fight in the middle and control everything? It's kind of like playing handball or tennis, right? The best way I could describe it. When you play tennis, if you play up to the net, you're making the decision to take everything straight up, that you can control the speed of the game at a faster rate. It's like in racquetball, you move up. You believe you got the enough skill that you could play that close. So that's exactly what it is. Distance. Managing your distance, and what game plan did you and your coach develop to fight that way? You understand? Like that. So, look, Saul Canelo Alvarez, I don't have to say it. I believe he's the favorite in this fight. I know he's the favorite in this fight. I believe he's the more skilled out of the two men. He's the more experienced out of the two men. And he's the champion, right? Edgar Berlanga doesn't bring much in experience, and he's definitely not better than all the guys Saul Canelo Alvarez have come up in the ring against already. So, what he has to bring to the ring is himself, a version of Edgar Berlanga that believes he can win this fight. And there's one thing in sports I learned none of us have a measuring stick for. It's your heart. There's no measuring stick for that. I don't I don't know. I haven't seen it like that. But what if Edgar Berlanga is turns out to be one of those dudes where like he ain't giving up, he's in to win, and he's gonna try to win. So we'll see where his heart's at. We'll see where his skills are at, and we'll soon find out. September 14th in this fight. Let me start answering some of y'all questions, and let's talk. Let me see what you guys got to say. Nobody is holding it straightforward. What Goodman's team said they are ready. Listen, TJ Dohany's camp could say whatever they want to say. I learned anyway in the sport of boxing that talk is cheap, and everybody's going to try to talk to keep themselves irrelevant. You can't follow the Bivol blueprint, so to speak, right? Because in order to follow the Bivol blueprint is a good plan against Saul Canelo Alvarez. But you're gonna need Bivol's traits and attributes. Do you really think that Edgar Berlanga moves like Bivol and that he can pull that off like that? I don't think so. I can only hold Edgar Berlanga to the skills he has. I think Demetrius Bivol is a lot smarter than Edgar Berlanga, and he puts his punches together a lot better. You know, um, what's he saying right here? Mongia said that the same thing about Berlanga has to use his jab, let his hands go. He has to let his hands go. Berlanga has Bivol has no power. Well, he has stinging power. He has the kind of power that will still hold you at bay. I noticed that. He doesn't, I guess, have that kind of like one punch knockout power. or he would have to have softened you up through the courses of rounds in order to put that combination together to put you down. Bivol type guy. But I did notice that he has a really stiff jab. When he fought that IBO champion, what was his name there? I forget his name. He was like popping him with that jab, right? It wasn't the greatest performance out of Demetrius Bivol. Yeah, I admit that. But I'm just talking about his punching power, like you brought up. And, for the most part, you know, uh, that's what he's going up against when he's fighting Arthur Benavidez. Excuse me. Am I right? He's going in against a guy that has 100% knockout power. And Demetrius Bivol is going to try to go in there and teach him a boxing lesson. I'm not sure how, what Arthur's performance is going to be after coming off that kind of surgery, that kind of injury. I'm not sure if he'll ever be the same. I got to see it. I got to see if it slows down. Does it affect them? Not just because, and the announcers and these people try to be slick, right? He turns around and says, "Oh, I remember when I had that same injury. It took me X amount of time to come back from the injury. I was 100%. I came back. I ran this. Oh, yeah, slow down, Tonto. First of all humans are not the same. And just because it took you that long and your body responded for you in that way, good for you. But you're not him, and he's not you. You two don't heal the same. On average, the human bodies are they're guessing, on average, you should heal around this time. But how do I know that his limbs ain't weak and they just start snapping? How do I know that injury, like we didn't know that those car accidents had that much effect on Errol Spence Jr.? He tried to hide it well, didn't he? And he had a few fights before, the Ugas and the Danny. Y'all remember, right? So I don't know until the day I see him in the ring with Demetrius Bivol across the ring fighting him. Then I'll tell you what Arthur looks like. So yeah, I mean, they try to feed it to you like you should have no worries, because typically the athlete heals from that type of injury right here. And as you can see, he's 100%. That's bullshit. You can feed it to me, but I know better. No. Nah. Not unless I had my eyes on him. If I was in front of him in the gym and I'm looking at him, I would be able to tell you. I'd be like, yup, he lost a step. Yep. So I did until I see him in the ring, then I'll actually know. Because a lot of people actually criticize Naoya Inoue's performance against TJ Doheny. They said he actually looked sluggish, that he looked a little slower than normal. And I was like, yeah, that he's exactly where he's supposed to be. If he's a man that's trying to move up in weight, so in every fight, he's coming in that much, heavier. So the transition will be easier to move up. So he's in the position right now where, don't you know that the pieces all added up? Read between the lines. It's right in front of you. TJ Doheny is a piece of the puzzle. If you were going to be a little sluggish, a little off, that's who we needed to fight. You got knocked down in your last fight, so you want to fight to build yourself as well, right? Just like what I criticize Devin Haney, I say to myself, you just got knocked down several times. You might want to pick a different fight, get your confidence back up, get, a great performance, and then go about your business. You can't go killer. Now, Inoue went killer, and he got to him. It all added up. Now, Inoue was working on a few things. It showed it with TJ Doheny. His right was up to here all night. It was on the side of his face. You weren't going to get a lucky one on him, showing you the things he worked on. Then he put him away. That's it. That's exactly what you're supposed to do. He's exactly where he's supposed to be. And I'm like, do you guys all think that everybody's in the exact same place? And just because you say it, he should fight him, he should fight, it should go down like that? These guys are robots. One war after another after another. No. I'm not saying what Saul Canelo Alvarez is doing. That's a complete different story, right? But when we talk about men, legacy, championships, belts, all of it, you know, you soon to start to figure who are the ones that want to do it and who are the ones that are bullshitting. Jerron Boots Ennis right now is scheduled to fight at 154 now because of that Brian Norman situation. You know, who's he fighting? Crawwell now at 154? So Conwell. What's up, Bam? What are you saying here? I think Garcia versus Lara is more of an entertaining fight. At 160, Danny Garcia coming back after 2 years, jumping up into a weight division he never fought in. You think that fight is going to be a good fight? Okay. I think you're more enamored or remember their names. You remember who Danny Garcia is as a fighter. I hope Danny Garcia, he's a Puerto Rican fighter, man. I hope Danny Garcia whoops his ass. But I got to be realistic with myself. Ring rust is a real thing. And after having 2 years and no experience in that weight division, the Lara might be old. He might be up there in age. What is he, 42, 43 now? Even what is he? I forget what he is, right? He might be older than that. He didn't. Lara really didn't even look good against that kind of competition that he had in his last fight. That competition he fought was a C minus at best, his competition. So, Danny Garcia had a real opportunity to come in here, play spoiler, and win that belt. In fact, I've heard two different stories. I heard that the belt is on the line, and I heard the belt is not on the line by two different sources. So I'm not even sure 100% if that belt's on the line, so I know that they're claiming it. They're gonna work it out with the sanctioning body. I'm not sure if they ever came to an agreement. I don't know. If he can do that and sustain it, if he can do that, like what I believe, and I think that Saul Canelo Alvarez sees this too as well, right? Is that he thinks that Edgar Berlanga is going to be what we call a front runner in a fight, right? Where that he's going to do well, or at least he thinks he's going to be doing good for the first half of the fight. I think Saul Canelo Alvarez is going to dominate the second half of the fight. He's going to let Edgar Berlanga, he's going to do a lot of covering up Saul and peppering him, like disturbing the bee's nest. He's going to be hitting the bee's nest, wanting to Edgar Berlanga to get all riled up and throw a barrage of punches and really get all his muscles filled in with blood. By the 6th, 7th round, his arms are going to start to feel heavy from all those punches. And Saul Canelo Alvarez is going to look over his gloves and he's going to see it in his face. And all of a sudden, you're going to see he's just going to turn it up. It's just a matter of time from there. I don't know exactly what round he gets it done, but I see a Saul Canelo Alvarez victory here tonight. As far as an upset, I wish there could be an upset. Edgar Berlanga has a puncher's chance. He 100% does. That's the excitement of boxing, isn't it, ladies and gentlemen? That even though you know who Saul Canelo Alvarez is, even though you know and you're sure there's no way Edgar Berlanga can beat Saul Canelo Alvarez, I guarantee it, on fight night, you're going to have butterflies in your stomach and you're going to start second guess and start going down that road. What if? What if? Because it happens to all of us. So I know if you're a Saul Canelo Alvarez fight fan, that thought is going to come up, or somebody's going to say something and you're going to kick him out your party. Get him out of here, right? He's got to go. Well, he about to get rocked, all right? Right? It's always your sister's date, right? That one guy that's not really with the family that shows up with your sister. It's always him that got that Jets uniform on or something. You out of place, homeboy. Like, yo, right? Yo, listen. So I think Saul, more than likely he's going to win. But just in case, man, you're going to get them butterflies and you're going to start to second guess yourself too. Yeah. And, and if they do that, then boxing has done its job. It's built up in an event for you so that you can enjoy, and hopefully we get a show. It's messed up when the event is built up and the moment is hyped up and all this other stuff, and we really don't get the fight we expected. We don't get the fight we wanted. That's when shit don't go right. But when we get our share of blood on the prelims, on the co-main event, and then the main event lives up to what it was supposed to be, there's nothing better than a night like that, is there? Yeah, man, you guys are on the way. Yo, you see it, you talking shit. Like, you see how I knocked him out? And you're walking out the place and you and your buddies, whatever, if you, whoever you enjoyed the fight with, and you have something to talk about. And I know how that's like. And I know how, when the night goes well. So, what's up, Armando? How you doing? Dave's real. I seen an upset. I have a feeling he's going to get dropped for the first time. Wow. He's going to get dropped for the first time. Out of all the fighters Saul Canelo Alvarez has come up in the ring with, my man said he believes he's going down for the first time. My man, love the energy, love the enthusiasm. Hey, he can dream too, can he? He can have hope. All right. Who am I to say to Dave Real here, right? That no, it's not possible. It's never gonna happen. No, if he thinks so, then he thinks so. What's up, Armando? Yeah. I don't see one neither. But yo, Carlos, what's up? You know he is. I mean, we're just wishful thinking here, trying to build up the guy, because let me tell you something right now. When Saul Canelo Alvarez knocks out Edgar Berlanga, do you think they're going to give him credit for that? Hmm? Tell me. You think they're going to give him credit for that? At least I'm trying to talk up Edgar Berlanga and give him a puncher's chance credit, and also talk him up so when he does beat Edgar Berlanga, we can say that Edgar Berlanga was a good opponent, not a tomato can, not a cab driver. He went in there, had a good account of himself, and Saul Canelo Alvarez had a good victory against a good opponent. And if you can say walk away from that, from the fight, with at least that, Edgar Berlanga can still capitalize off fighting Saul Canelo Alvarez. Case in point, Isaac Pitbull Cruz capitalized off of a loss with Gervonta Tank Davis, did he not? Rolly capitalized on a loss. So, guys, his stock can still go up, but it all depends, due in part to his performance. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. And that's going to be big. That's going to be big. And I think that's that's where it's all going to come into question, because if Edgar Berlanga goes in there and Saul Canelo Alvarez completely wipes him down and makes him look bad, I don't know what's going to happen with Edgar Berlanga after that. No, there is nothing complicated about this fight. The fans buy the fight because they support Saul Canelo Alvarez, and then they try to quickly put Mexican Puerto Rico rivalry when the Puerto Ricans are like, wait a minute, we didn't sign up for this. Like, you guys are like making it like this, right? Which is funny, right? But the one thing about boxing, the reason why we watch it sometimes is for multiple reasons. To watch your favorite fighter, anticipate a knockout, or the unknown might intrigue you. A real underdog story. Edgar Berlanga's the underdog in this fight. And everybody likes an underdog story. The guy that all the odds were against him. A real Rocky story. No one thought you could win. Buster Douglas, Mike Tyson type shit. Going in there with all the criticism against you. And then in the middle of the fight, you realize you're rooting for him. That's a real underdog story. And if you find yourself at any point in this fight cheering for Edgar Berlanga, it's because he's doing something in that ring right at that moment in time. I can guarantee you that much. Come on, guys. Drop that like.
Drop the cap.
Drop
Drop the
that like.
cap.
Hit that like button. Hit that like button. Well, it will hurt his stock. Yeah, because what happens in that situation is the same thing that was going through with Naoya Inoue, right? And what happens there, right? What happens there is when a fighter gets dropped, if Saul gets dropped, that quote that thing they got on him, that he has an iron chin, it won't look like an iron chin anymore. You understand? And the people that are fighting against him are going to also think that they can drop him too. And not only are the people that are looking on going to think that he can be knocked down, him himself knows, whether he wants to deny it or not, he's going to know, I've been dropped. And as we all know, no one knows the exact number of when your chin's going to give out. We have a saying for it in the gym, it's called chinny. And you could have had a strong iron chin your entire career. First time you get knocked out, after that, it just seems like you just getting knocked out either every fight or every other fight. They just tap you out. No one knows why that happens to fighters. No one knows when it can happen. It happens to everyone. And all of a sudden, one day, somebody just taps you. You go out. I don't know why it happens. I can't explain it. But it happens to the best of us. Yes, it does. Okay? So, I'm not sure if Berlanga truthfully can catch up to Saul in the way that I believe that Edgar Berlanga is not your most technical of boxers anyway. I believe that a lot of the fights that he's been in, all he has ever done was fight in the fight. That's it. That's all he does. I don't think he's a smart fighter. I think he just reacts in some of the situations in the moments and he just fights. So seeing that that's what got you here, don't go into a training camp trying to turn into another fighter that you're not. Typically, it takes the human body to record one new punch every 4 months, sometimes a year, just to learn one new punch to add it to your arsenal for that your body can throw that punch without you thinking. Just it flows. Whenever the situation occurs, you don't even, your body's just gonna do it. Just like that. That's when it becomes repetition. That's when you're not thinking of throwing the punch. You know when to throw it. For every situation, you have a sequence of punches. In a game plan, from round 1, 2, and 3, you're gonna fight like this. 4, 5, and 6, you're gonna fight like this. You see? If this goes wrong in the fight, you're gonna do this. You see? So it's planning, preparation. So I know these things. I know how far I've seen special fighters that learn how to throw punches like that in lesser time and master it. But like I repeat, not all people are the same. Some people it'll take 6 months, some people a year, some people 2 years. Yeah, it just depends what kind of athlete you are. How 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 fast do you record shit and be able to repeat it in proper form? It's okay that you're throwing the punches 100 times, but are you doing it the right way, the right form, the way the punch is meant to be thrown? Not sloppy, not keep working at it. That's what boxing is. It's a lot of countless hours of repetition, making you believe that you could throw the punch harder, throwing it from a shorter distance, things like that. So, do I believe that Edgar Berlanga is going to learn all of that in one training camp? You must be out your mind. You must think I've never coached someone or boxed, and I've done both. And there's no way he's not going to do it. He's he's not going to do it. You're not going to be able to he's not going to record all that. And then the biggest fear is that he's going to get punched in his face and he's going to divert right back to the fighter he once was, which is my biggest fear, which is probably what's going to happen. He's going to go right back to that's probably what's going to happen. Yeah. So fight fans, listen guys, you guys got anything else? Oh, what's up, baby? How you doing? If what? If I was Berlanga, I would kick Fat Joe's ass what to the club. You're crazy. He said he said he'll have it playing while he's coming out. Just straight kicking, huh? Yeah, well, that's why. Look, Canelo is a lot in fight shape, but there has been a few fights though he did blimp up. I saw it, and that was due in part to the lifestyle, and I knew it. I knew that Canelo was just enjoying his money. He's young. He was coming. I think it was a few fights right after that Floyd fight. He was in shape right around there. It was a little bit after that. I think it was kind of like in between that Caleb Plant where I seen him probably the worst I've ever seen Canelo in pictures and walking around weight. That was probably the worst I seen him right there. I think he was going like through the worst time right around that time. Then he decided to fight Demetrius Bivol right around that time, coming off one of the fights, and he didn't look good either against the Demetrius Bivol. And then he went back down. Now he's got a little bit of the ab thing going, you know. I think him and Oscar De La Hoya have the same doctor, the same fake abs. Nah. Saus are real. Saus are real. So but I find that funny that Oscar De La Hoya called out Dana White for having fake abs. They're fucking crazy. So anyway, yeah. Um oh snap. My man Tank in the building. Yeah. What's up? Eighth round? Yeah, look, Cool Boy, Cool Boy is back in that fight, and I like that fight. He's gonna be fighting Carlos Castro in that fight, Kubo Fulton, and I just want to see what he looks like after this, because he hasn't fought since he lost to Naoya Inoue, and that you can go either two ways. You can think that you want to fight, but you could be shell shocked. It can go inwards. Definitely that can go inwards. And or you can learn a lot from it. You can learn from it and it can push you and motivate you to get better. You know what I'm saying? So like, I want to see what version of Stephen Kubo Fulton do we get. Did Naoya in a way take his heart? Is he ever gonna be that fighter he once was? Is he gonna have the confidence when he's in trouble in the fight to not to just settle in the fight, to come out and try to win every minute, every second in the fight? How does he respond? After I see this fight, then I'll talk more about it. But I need to see him because I'm just not gonna guess. I would like to think, he's back, he's ready. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. So I truly have to see for my own self with my own two eyes how he responds for that. And thank you for the donation, my man Chain. Yeah, all that I talked about that jumping around from trainer to trainer, Boogie. Being back with the same trainer that got you there, leaving him. What does that tell you? You don't even have a solid team. If now you're going back with your trainer, what did you leave your trainer for in the first place then? So that's a lot of bad blood right there. Ty, what's up, baby? How you doing in the building? My man Ty. Don't forget to hit that like button for me, guys. So yeah. Mike Tyson did it better. It was just a nibble, slight nibble. A little, he was hungry. He was hungry. In between rounds, he decided, look, an ear, I need a snack. I got to work on my iron. Got to keep my, you know what I'm saying? Hey, I don't see anything wrong there. Liar, what's up, baby? Y'all be bugging. Look at he couldn't knock out Ryder. He couldn't finish Mongia. He couldn't finish a lot of the fighters he was in there with. And I talked about this. I believe his last knockout was Caleb Plant for Saul Canelo Alvarez. That was the last man that he stopped, was Caleb Plant. Okay. So I can't say that just because he didn't knock out Mongia or Ryder that he can't knock out Berlanga. No. I would love to think that boxing works that way. Then you could definitely say at least this guy's not gonna knock him out. No, 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 no. Boxing works like this, that as you get older in boxing and you get more experience, you know where to stand in a fight where the other guy would either have to extend reach or be in the danger zone in order to hit you. Then you got to learn how to create your offense, work off your jab, and create opportunities for yourself and try to set things up depending what kind of fighter you on, what level you're on, because there's levels to this. Not all fighters make reads. Not all fighters. Some fighters are still rookies and they're just in there fighting. They don't know how to box. Some people know how to box. They don't know how to fight. And you could bully a boxer because he won't know how to fight you. If you'll disrupt his whole thing because all he's gonna be doing is trying to box. You could come in with like a wild man. Some fighters, they don't know what to do because they were taught the dance played out like this. They're lost, right? So styles make fights. So I'm not gonna say that Edgar Berlanga, it could get knocked out by Saul or can't. I'm gonna have to see that when the time is right, and I'm gonna see how Edgar Berlanga takes Saul's punches. If Edgar Berlanga legitimately takes Saul's punch and just is like, and we're in the 6th round, and he's looking good, then Saul's punching power is starting to diminish, and that'll be just a fact, right? Because Edgar Berlanga's been dropped before in fights. So it's not the fact that Edgar has never been knocked down. Yeah, he's already been dropped. He came back and won the fight, but he's been dropped more than once. So, and Saul has never been knocked down, ever. With all the big names that Saul got on his resume, you would think at least somebody could have put him down. 61 professional fights. 61. He's got Edgar Berlanga's record almost 3 times. And you, with that much experience, that's why I say that this has the potential of being one of the biggest upsets in all of boxing, because you gotta weigh, the fight here. Edgar Berlanga is truly an underdog. He's the definition of an underdog right now. It's that guy. Give me a chance. Give me a shot. Kid, he'll kill you. Give me a shot. I'm ready. Kid, you don't know what you're asking for. You're going to get killed. And he goes out there and wins on some Rocky shit. Edgar Berlanga, he's up on the ropes. He's bleeding. He's like, he lifts up his hand. He's like, instead of Adrian, he's like, Maria! Maria! Like, yo, because we're Puerto Rican, right? It ain't gonna be Adrian, it's gonna be Maria. Yeah, yo, be crazy. That will be crazy. Oh my God, Saul Canelo Alvarez's reign wouldn't be completely over, because you better believe if Edgar Berlanga pulls that off, Saul's got a contract, a rematch claw. You know he gonna shoot that rematch claw. Look at Pitbull Cruz is doing right now. He's about to shoot the real. He hasn't technically put in the paperwork or whatever or activated the rematch. From what I'm hearing, he hasn't activated yet. He's saying he wants to fight, but it's expected. Like I guess Ryo's team is expecting him to put in the paperwork. It's supposed to be here, but Ryo was just on the interview with Ryan, and he still hasn't put it in yet. So I don't know. Maybe he'll take the fight. Maybe Esau Pitbull Cruz will wake up and be like, why waste another fight at 140 when I really don't belong there? Go back to 135 and try to fulfill your dream down there. And the WBA 135 champion is Tank Davis. Shit. I don't know where you could go. Go to 130. That's exactly where you belong. 130, 126 at 5'3". Esau Pitbull Cruz. Just go back down there, bro. So I don't know. I really don't know. But we'll see. We'll see. Time will tell. Carlos, what's up? What do you say? Let me blow this up a little bit. Sometimes when the letters are together, like you guys know my eyes. Good one line. That's Edgar's. I mean, you're in a fight. Anything can go, either way. In any exchange, one guy can get clipped and get the worst out of it. AJ versus Andy the Destroyer Ruiz. AJ just knocked him down and Andy stood up. And in that exchange, the very next exchange, he clipped AJ on the side of the head right behind his equilibrium gave out and his legs gave out underneath him. And Joshua was done. He was done. He never recovered from that punch. And that was from an exchange. I thought he was going to win. And he got clipped. So you really don't know, sometimes you can get the best of the exchange. Sometimes you can get the worst. So, yeah. Whoa. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, well, it's smart to have a rematch clause and put in place because you're giving this person an opportunity to change their life to try to defeat you for your belt. It's kind of like playing dice out on the street. I lose $20 or I'm playing card, I lose $20. The person's going to be like, yo, let me get a chance to win my money back, run it back, double or nothing. Because you don't want to lose your money. You know what I'm saying? So you don't want to lose your belt. So what do? The smart thing, put a rematch clause. Had Subriel Matias and his team did that, Liam Paro won and just took that belt and went to Australia. Now, would have he? Subriel Matias would be getting his get back, right? But no, they thought they were just going to beat Liam Paro and put no rematch for his belt. If I was a champion and I was fighting, I was giving you a shot for my belt, the first thing on that piece of paper, rematch. If Edgar Berlanga pulls this upset, he's going to have to beat Saul Canelo Alvarez twice to get rid of him. Many of champions have had to do that. And I've seen that done a lot where you beat the look, Robersi is scheduled to fight Espinoza. Right? They're gonna run the rematch back. I'm not sure if Robersi can beat him. I think Espinoza got his number. To tell you the truth. Yeah, I think he's got his number. I don't think he's going to be able to beat him. I wonder if where's the fight? I didn't. That's the one I started thinking in my head. What city is the fight in between Robersi and Espinoza? Where are they fighting? Are they fighting in Espinoza's hometown? Don't quote me on that because that's exactly what I was thinking about. So, just a little bit of advantage situations because I like to play those things out. I like to play who has the advantage in the fight, who's the champion in the fight, and X, Y, and Z. So yeah, absolutely. So all those things play a part in a fight. I think he beats him again. I think he beats Robersi. I don't think Robersi's gonna get that belt back, bro. I'm not sure. And we talked about this, right? When you beat a guy and you didn't beat him, that too long ago, you're gonna fight him again. You come in that much confidence. Don't be cocky, but confidence that you can beat him again. Because if you beat him once, you could beat him twice. That's how I always felt. So yeah. Well, it wouldn't have changed anything lying hard for him. Benavidez has fought the number one contender, title eliminator. He got the interim belt. None of that got him any closer to Saul Canelo Alvarez. None of that shit. So I don't think that would have, that would have played a factor. None of that played he could have went in there and beat Edgar Berlanga. That still wouldn't have got him closer to the belt at all. I don't see no other way for David the Monster Benavidez becoming champion at 168 ever again. Not unless Saul loses those belts to Edgar. And then his father has another fighter that just fought the other night. You guys saw him fight, right? Diego Pacheco. And he's a 168 pounder that's trying to get in position in the future to try to be a world champion at least, right? So I don't think nobody's going to get those belts or a shot at those belts unless Edgar Berlanga can save us all. If Edgar Berlanga can pull the upset and save us all, then but I don't see it happening. Do you think Saul Canelo Alvarez wins this fight? He finally goes out there to Saudi and gives us a big fight? Or you think that he's going to do one of these performances again? What do you guys think? Let's say in a good world, okay, he beats Edgar. Who's Saul Canelo Alvarez's next opponent? And by this time, don't nobody say I'm David the Monster Benavidez, because that's not happening. Reason being that I know that that's not going to be happening during this time is because of one reason. It's because he'll probably be in the gym in negotiations, already trying to fight the winner out of Demetrius Bivol and Arthur by that time. So he'll probably already have a sense of direction or where he's going. He's not going to pull out of that fight, which if he fights whoever wins, that fight's going to be for 4 belts, right? And they're going to have to fight David the Monster Benavidez for the 4 belts. So you think he's going to stop negotiations or fight the winner that's already almost sketched in stone for him? David the Monster Benavidez is going to fight again right? To get more acclimated. By time that fight finishes, Dimitri Bivol and them should have already been out of their fight. They should have been some months already passed. Then they start negotiation, go into their fight camp. Then we got to fight. See what I'm saying? With David the Monster Benavidez. So too much time would have passed by then. If he knocks out Edgar Berlanga, who's his next opponent? Hell no. Stop the cap.
Stop the cap.
There's yo, yeah, baby. Yeah, that's his next opponent right there. CJ, what up? Man, listen. Yeah, I know this. I know this to be true, right? And that's my point. That if uh David the Monster Benavidez is focused up there, and Saul Canelo Alvarez Edgar fight, Saul beats Edgar, who fights Saul next? And I said, well, it's not going to be David the Monster Benavidez, because he's going to try to fight the winner out of them. And what do? Do you give up an opportunity at 4 belts to try to fight him when you try to do that for years and he wouldn't fight you? So I wouldn't give up what I got going on over here to turn around and fight you. That's all I'm saying. Yeah. Had a buzz, man. Another punching bag. He'll find somebody. He'll find somebody to fight. You know. Yeah, but even I think the Mexican fans are starting to see and realize. I mean, they all support him because Saul got a kind of fan base that they're loyal to him, so they're gonna come out. And if you live in Mexico, you don't have to pay-per-view for the fight. If you want to see the fight for free, just drive into Mexico, because according to Saul Canelo Alvarez, no Mexican pays for pay-per-view for to see his fights. He fights for his country, and in his country they watch him fight for free. Um, to Saul Canelo Alvarez, yeah, on a Saul Canelo Alvarez fight, you don't pay for it in Mexico. So if you ever want to see one of his fights, simple, cross the border, free fight, you got it on Saul. You know what I mean? Right? So yeah, fight fans, listen, fight fans, I had an amazing time here tonight with you guys, chopping it up. Like always, please don't forget to drop a like, share the videos, subscribe to the channel. I always enjoy coming on, chopping it up with boxing with you guys. And you guys let me know what you want to talk about. Leave me your comments in the comment sections below. Let me know about your favorite fighter. If anyone that you want me to talk about, we can talk about them. I definitely think that this is going to be an interesting card, an interesting night of fighting. I'm going to tune in to watch it. I have to. I got to cover the sport of boxing. So, fight fans, I will see you guys on my next video after this one here at Round One Sports Talk, bro. Love you guys. Have an amazing time and love yourselves. Peace. Armando, all right. Bam Bam, Frontline, Carlos, CJ, everyone that joined in the chat. Yo, salute. Dave,